Hello, my name is Joshua Hoadley. I am a ICT major at Florida State University and I am going into my junior year of school. So there are many issues that information professionals will face in the workplace today, and some of these issues include the sudden burst of information available for us to consume, just how much information there is out there today, net neutrality and the issues associated with it, and lastly, intellectual property and assigned agreements and just what that entails. So there are many issues I'm not going to be able to cover today, but there are many viable solutions to these issues. And the first of them being the sheer amount of information that information professionals and users have at the tips of their fingers at any time of the day. In the beginning of the 20th century, the only way people could consume information was either through newspaper or the radio. Nowadays, with the global information architecture, we have cell phones and computers, so anyone can access any information whenever they want it, which is crazy. So some statistics about just exactly how much information is out there. In 2005, for every 1 minute of information that we consumed, there was 20,000 minutes available. And another statistic about that is in 2008, we consumed 3.6 zettabytes of information. So these statistics are from over a decade ago, and so I have no idea what it would be like now. I'm sure it's crazy. So that is an overwhelming amount of information to manage and sift through. There is so much information that people develop conditions called information anxiety and information overload. So information anxiety is the inability to cope with information, and information overload is when people have difficulty making decisions because of how much information they have in front of them. The next issue I want to cover is called net neutrality. So it is the principle that internet service providers should enable access to all content regardless of the source, and without blocking particular products or websites. So net neutrality basically means that all traffic on the internet should be treated equally. It affects IT professions in many ways. For example, if a web developer produces or builds a more bandwidth-intensive web application, it might not be available to some customers that don't pay a premium, or some customers will experience something called throttling, which is when a customer's internet experience is slowed down because of network congestion, because they're not paying the premium. So a way that net neutrality can be explained is through this useful picture. With net neutrality, there is equal access to content, just like equal lanes. Without net neutrality, it is similar to toll roads, where only the people willing to pay a price get to go in the fast lane. And finally, the last issue I want to cover is called assigned agreements, and basically who owns intellectual property. So an assigned agreement is a contract in which one party assigns contractual rights over another party. So a trader clause is usually included in these contracts, in which the employee will unwillingly sign over the rights to any future inventions or ideas over to their employer if it is related to the employer's field of work. So my opinion on that is that it's not right or fair for companies to lay claim on their employees' intellectual property in that way, but it's how it is, because people will sign these contracts without reading them or realizing what they're getting into. So some ways to avoid getting snared in this trap is to be completely certain of every facet of any contract that you're going to be signing. So if you don't keep careful records of your work, your company can and will sue you for any ideas or inventions that you come up with when you're on their time. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope I have proved myself competent in some of the issues that information professionals will face in the workplace and in the future. Again, my name is Joshua Hoadley, and I am super grateful for this opportunity.